Scam School Remix! Here's the unbelievably simple principle that'll make you look like a mind-reading wizard.
I want you to think of the name of the first boy you ever kissed. I'm gonna make my prediction. You know what? I forgot to get your name. What was your name?
Courtney.
Courtney, fantastic. We're gonna lock in a secret, unbeatable vault. Now, I don't want to say you're this type of person, Courtney, but I run into people, especially at the bar, who like to mess with me, they like to change their mind. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lock in your name. What was the name of the boy?
Damon.
Damon. I'm gonna ask you a different question. I want to know the name of your first pet you ever truly loved. What was your name?
Serafina.
Serafina. How do you spell that? S-E-R-A?
F-I-N-A.
F-I-N-A. Yeah. All right, Serafina, same rules. Serafina. And what was the name of your first pet that you ever truly loved?
Icy.
Icy? How do you spell that?
I-C-E-Y.
Okay, I may be in trouble.
Who's a white guy?
I don't know that I could have ever predicted icy. I like to ask the personal questions of the ladies, but for dudes, I don't want to get too in depth. By the way, I'm Brian. What's your name? Jeff. Jeff. I just want you to reach down and cut some number of cards and turn them face up. Okay, as deep as you want, however many cards you want.
Okay.
And turn them over, set it on top, and let's see. I'm not gonna look. There you go. You look at that card. Don't let me see it. All right. In fact, here, you take those cards, put them all right. I'm gonna look at you and see if I can figure it out here. Same rules for you, Jeff. Not that I'm accusing you of being a guy to mess everything up. What was your card?
2 of diamonds.
The 2 of diamonds. I didn't force you to card in. I didn't make you choose the first animal you loved. And I certainly didn't make you kiss Damon.
You sure didn't.
Let's see how I did. We've got them all personalized here. We've got, there's Jeff's. Don't look at them yet. There's Courtney's. And there's Serafina's. Just tell me if I was right or wrong. Is it right?
It is right.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
There is a bit of a card element, so we're gonna go backwards. You were the one who was least amazed, because you know there's a way to trick people into taking certain cards. So what I did in this case is I took one card. So we'll say I want you to have the 8 of diamonds. So I'll put the 8 of diamonds on top. And I explain to you, I say I want you to turn over as many cards as you want.
But you had flipped it with the 3.
I flipped it over. I flipped over some number of them, right? So the one that was last I flipped over was the 8 of diamonds. So when you flipped over more cards, that made it so that the 8 of diamonds would be the first face down one. So in other words, it's sort of negative times the negative equals a positive. If you flip over a bunch of cards twice, whatever was on top appears to be the card that they selected. So your part was a card force. Now we learned a bunch of different forces. You could do this one where you just tell them to say stop whenever you want, or we also learned the crisscross force. Just make sure that you have whatever card you want them to have be on top of the deck. The other thing you need to find out, I want to know what card you're going to get and what your name is. I ask you something very personal. The more personal you make the question, the more amazing the reveal is, right? So in this case, I ask you for the name of the person you first kissed. So I look deep into your soul and I write down the 3 of spades. And then as if an afterthought, I'm like, oh, I forgot. What was your name? Courtney, that's right. That's C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y. Perfect. And you want to fold it up and hide it away. I found that a way to keep people from changing their mind later, so lock it in right now. So why don't you go ahead and tell me, Courtney, what is the name of the person you first kissed? Oh, it's Damon. Now, look at Serafina. I'm making my guess as to the pet you first had. And what was your name? Serafina? Okay, and that's spelled S-E-A. Then you can say F-I-N-A. Put that one away. So I'm 1 ahead of the person. Okay, and then finally, I'll write down Serafina. Just to clear things up, what was it? Icy. And we do this force. Just turn over as many cards as you want. There we go. Take a look at your card. We all know it's the 3 of spades. I'm going to write down my prediction. And of course, I'm writing down Icy. Jeff's a short name, but Serafina's a long name. So what I did when I was doing it for you guys was I wrote S-E-R-A, and then I paused. I would say, oh, it was Jeff, right? And then I wrote F-I-N-A. And then finally you lock in the last one. And you want there to be as much time delay as possible between when you're writing it down and when you're locking it in. So it doesn't look like you're just writing one and then the other. It was the 3 of spades. You throw them out, then you open it up, and each one is personalized. By writing their name on it, it gives a reason for, oh yeah, and this one's yours, and this one right here, well, it must be yours. And then it creates a moment where you say, would you guys be amazed if I got all 3 of these exactly right? You open it up and you are showered in golden amber beer. You don't have to be perfect. In this case, we went 3 for 3 by forcing the last card. You could easily guess a simple yes-no question. If you get it wrong, you still have 2 out of 3. If you get it right, you got a perfect trifecta. Or better yet, work out something in advance with a stooge to pretend to be a volunteer for the third person.
Remember, nobody cares that the words you wrote match the words they said. What they care about is that somehow you knew the first person they kissed. The more personal you can make this, the better the effect will be. Scam School Remix brings you the best of 500 plus episodes of Scam School. You can dive into the complete archive or check out our revisiting of this exact same principle with magician Alan Paletti.